Well, Nigeria, over the weekend, joined the world to observe the first edition of the World Investors Week, promoted by International Organization of Securities Commission. At an investors clinic organized in Lagos by Nigeria Securities and Exchange Commission, shareholders raised concerns over several investment challenges.
Today, we do not know how many capitalists that patronizes the stock exchange. In 2008, 2009, we were thinking they were up to 10 million because at that time, there was a thoughtful purchase of shares when the BPE, Zayad and all these people sold shares to the market. It was not on a choice purchase. It was forceful on people because it was taken to local governments and all this and that and say, well, you must have people to participate. We must take our share of the national cake. As at that time, we had all the problems started with multiple applications, multiple names, multiple signatures, and all this and that. Because at that time, every dividend must carry a signature, which will be cleared at the bank, whether it's the owner or not. Most of those dividends were abandoned because you couldn't get the accurate signature to get this approved. Until about 10 years ago or thereabout, when they removed signature from dividend. Of course, at that time, there have been a lot of laundering on the capital market. Those that didn't know what to do with money, they were buying shares, compounded with when companies were giving us 20 shares, 30 shares, and those that had money felt that the best way to accumulate and get more shares is to do multiple application. So the issue of unclaimed dividend will be very perpetual with us. But what we are saying is that the law says that after 12 years, it reverts back to the company that pays it. At that time of reversion to the company that pays it, it's still shareholders' money. For 3 occasions, I have led a group to fight SEC to make their quest to take unclaimed dividend unsuccessful. And it will continue that way until that law is changed.
But I think Monrovia and the school are doing very well. We are doing very well. I want to commend them. A case of recently we have heard about recovery of people who have sent to court or bound for the capital market activities. It's a good one. This protection. If you sell somebody's stocks without anything the money to him or her, it's a fraud, stealing, and the person have to go to jail. I want to commend him for that, and I start by him, and I give him that whole support, what he's doing. But if other areas that are still pending now, it's artist test. I'm still waiting what SEC will do, because I'm still fighting headlong, and I cannot be alive. Those who are claiming dividend belong to these minorities, and somebody has swindled it and put it into the pocket. We will not go and challenge. So SEC is on top of the matter. They are well and they are doing things. And I still believe on the leadership to bring the corporate with justice. And every corporate should recover its shareholders' money. We are talking about it.
At times to give out circulars, and the people whose interests you are supposed to be protecting start wondering, what's the meaning of this one? And I will quickly point out the issue of chairmen of audit committees. You look at it, that's the only committee recognized by CAMA. And from nowhere, you are now saying the chairman of that committee should be a chartered accountant. We don't see the relevance. At best, at worst, what the audit committee is for is oversight functions. And we want not only SEC, but other regulatory authorities to be mindful of their regulations.
We have taken note of all this. We are going to document them in the form of notes for records. We will circulate to shareholders associations that are represented here to be sure that we go through correctly so that we show that the issues raised have been well understood. And then we will call another meeting that will be clinical cure. And that meeting, I can undertake on behalf of the DG that to be able to address some of these things, we will do our own in-house housekeeping to be able to come and meet you back with some of these important issues that you have raised. Where you don't have correct information, we will get the correct information. Where the information is misunderstood, we will clear it.
Well, let's go back to the fixed income market and see how the past week was for that market. At the bond market, the average yield in that segment contracted by 68 basis points, that's week on week, to 15.16%, as the relative improvement in system liquidity earlier in the week drove demand across all ends of the curve. However, following the decline in system liquidity on Friday, yields expanded on the short and mid ends of the curve relative to Thursday's level. Overall, yields contracted across all ends of the curve week on week. Meanwhile, at the FMDQ OTC market, the bond attracted the highest value and deals was the bond maturing April 18, 2037, which of course had churned out a total of 6.30 billion naira. It's followed by the bond maturing March 17, 2027, with a value of 2.30 billion naira. Now, total numbers of deal was 77, and the total value of bond traded was 11.10 billion naira. At the Treasury bills market, the Apex Bank sold bills worth 130.37 billion naira. The bills were 4 times oversubscribed, with pressure on the long and mid ends of the curve, while the short end was undersubscribed. Sentiments in the secondary market were bullish on the back of relatively improved system liquidity, with average yield contracting by 55 basis points to 16.90%. Total value came to 131.83 billion naira in 494 deals. We'll take a quick break. When we return, we'll talk infrastructure development as a means of reflating the economy. To stay with us.